Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking the code on one of the most important parts of your Pearson Edexcel IAL business exam, the 4-mark questions. They might seem small, but trust me, they can make a huge difference to your final grade. What if I told you that you could pretty much guarantee full marks on every single one of these? It sounds a little too good to be true, I know, but there's a really clear method to it. So let's start by digging into why these seemingly simple questions can actually be a bit of a challenge. You know, a lot of students see a 4-mark question and think, oh, easy points. But they can be so deceptively tricky. Marks get lost all the time, not because you don't know the content, but because you're not giving the examiner exactly what they're looking for. We're going to fix that today. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. This comment comes straight from Pearson themselves. This right here, this tells us everything. The number one mistake is failing to connect what you learned in class to the specific business in the case study. A generic answer just isn't going to cut it. Okay, so how do we avoid that trap? It's simple. We have to learn to think like an examiner. And that means getting to grips with their official blueprint, the assessment objectives, or as you'll see them, AOs. This is the key to unlocking all the marks. As you can see, for these 4-mark questions, they're testing you on 3 specific skills. AO1 is all about showing your knowledge, proving you know your stuff. AO2 is about application, connecting that knowledge to the context of the business. And AO3 is about analysis, explaining the so what, the cause and effect. So now that we know what the examiners want, how do we actually give it to them? Well, it all boils down to a proven, super simple formula that turns that official jargon into a step-by-step guide for a perfect answer. And here it is. 1 + 2 + 1 = 4. This isn't just simple math, folks. This is the secret code. This is the exact breakdown of how the marks are handed out every single time. So here's what that actually means. You get 1 mark for your knowledge, which is basically stating the concept. Then, and this is so important, you get a whole 2 marks for application, for using evidence from the case study. And finally, you get 1 last mark for analysis, which is just explaining the consequence. If you nail these 3 steps, you've got all 4 marks in the bag. All right, theory is great, but let's put this into practice. We're going to apply our 1 + 2 + 1 formula to the 3 main types of 4-mark questions you are absolutely going to see on your exam: calculate, explain, and construct. First up, we've got the calculate questions. Now, these often seem the most straightforward, but it's also where it's incredibly easy to make a simple mistake and drop a mark. This 1 + 2 + 1 structure is basically your safety net. For these, just remember 3 little words: formula, context, link. First, for your 1 knowledge mark, you state the correct formula. Then, for your 2 application marks, you plug in the right data from the business context. And for your final analysis mark, you just do the calculation and give the final answer. It really is that simple. And here are just a few really quick pro tips to make sure you grab every single mark. Always show your workings, even if you can do it in your head. Include the correct units. Don't throw away a mark for that. And please don't forget the tiny details, like the negative sign for price elasticity of demand. It's a classic trip up. Okay, next up we have explain questions. These are the ones that ask you to explain why something is happening or what the impact might be. And guess what? The logic here is almost exactly the same. For these, your memory hook is reason, evidence, consequence. You start by identifying a relevant reason. That's your knowledge mark. Then, you back it up with 2 separate pieces of evidence from the case study. That gets you your 2 application marks. And finally, you explain the outcome, the consequence, and that's your analysis mark. Now listen up, because this is a huge one. I see this mistake all the time. Whatever you do, do not start your answer with a definition. Examiners will give you 0 marks for that in an explain question. Just jump straight into the reason, give your evidence, and then explain the consequence. And for our final type, we've got the construct questions. Yep, this is where you get to draw. It's usually a supply and demand diagram. And you guessed it, there is a clear formula for success here too. The memory hook here is axis, shift, new equilibrium. You get 1 mark just for correctly labeling your axes as price and quantity. That's an easy knowledge mark. You get 2 marks for applying the context, showing the original equilibrium, and 1 clear shift in a curve. And you get your final mark for showing the analysis, which is just labeling the new equilibrium point. And just a couple of quick tips for these. Only ever shift 1 curve, okay? Don't overcomplicate it. Label everything really clearly so the examiner can follow what you're doing. And of course, keep it neat. A messy diagram can definitely cost you marks.
So now you have the formula for each question type. Let's just quickly run through some general tips that apply to all 4 markers just to help you really master this technique for exam day.
First off, be efficient. These are quick wins. Get in, hit your 3 points, and get out. Don't spend 10 minutes on a 4-mark question. Second, and this is a big time saver, you do not need a conclusion or a judgment. It's not required and you won't get any extra marks. And finally, structure your answer in that KAA order: knowledge, application, and then analysis. You're basically making it impossible for the examiner not to give you the marks.
On screen now is a typical question. Now, while this specific one is an assess question worth more marks, you can see how the very first part of a top-level answer would be built using the exact knowledge, application, and analysis structure we've been talking about, before you then move on to evaluation.
And there you have it. The code is officially cracked. With this clear 1+2+1 framework and those memory hooks for each question type, you are now fully equipped to go out there and tackle any 4-mark question with total confidence. So the only question left is, which topic are you going to practice first?
If you found this explainer helpful for your Pearson Edexcel IAL business exam, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot more deep dives into exam technique and key business concepts just like this coming your way.
And please don't forget to like this explainer, share it with any friends who might find it useful, and drop any questions you have in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.